Hello folks, False Prelate here, and today we got a juicy drop from last Epoch. We got the Harbingers of Ruin patch notes for 1.1 coming out on Tuesday. And I'm not going to do like a whole patch notes read because it's really long and thick patch notes, but I did want to go over this one line from the Manifest Armor update here. Now, Manifest Armor is a build that I tried to play last league, and I wasn't very successful. I didn't really have enough damage. Effectively, what Manifest Armor is, it's similar to Animate Guardian in PoE, where like you put on your gear and your weapon, and then this like minion uses your gear for you, and it just like goes around and auto attacks, and it has like a bad whirlwind ability. Um, yeah, it wasn't very good. I couldn't make it work. I ended up just changing it into a forged weapon build, and it ended up doing pretty well with that. But with this update, this is absolutely bonkers, absolutely bananas. Let's take a look. The Whirlwind Strike ability now has 300% added damage effectiveness from 60%. Okay, so let's look at that. That is a 5 times damage multiplier on Whirlwind Strike. 5 times. That's insane. Uh, and a 4-second cooldown from 10. Okay, so the Manifest Armor's Whirlwind Strike now has 5 times damage and less than half the cooldown that it had before. Now, this was almost viable, almost last league. This is going to be certainly viable now. I wasn't even really building this for damage again because it didn't really have the damage. Now it definitely does. So let's take a look in game and kind of see what we could do to build this type of character. Okay, so this is the Manifest Armor here. As you can see, he's got a sword. If I look at the tags here, it's minion strength and attunement, and the minion tags are physical and melee. And the best scaling is attunement because you get health and damage from attunement. Let me just walk over to a pack, and then you can see him use his whirlwind. All right, there it is. Oh, so yeah, he'll just go off and auto things. He does decent damage, even without the buff. Not quite enough to like go into high tier monoliths yet, but certainly he does enough damage to hold his own against some random mobs. All right, so let's go in and take a look at what was changed and how we can scale this now. So the thing that was changed was this whirlwind. As I said before, it's going down to a 4-second cooldown from 10, and it's getting 5 times the damage effectiveness. Now that's hit damage, which means that now we will be playing the Manifest Armor almost exclusively hit based. So what are some ways that we can scale the hit damage of the Manifest Armor? First one is definitely going to be your main hand sword. So basically, the Manifest Armor gets your weapons and your gear, but you have to spec up to them to get them. So you get the sword here, your body armor here, your boots here, so on and so forth. So for me, on my sword here, I've got Miraphage. So it gets the flat melee damage on the Miraphage, but it also gets all of the other stats that are on there as well. And actually, there's that stat there that's the hybrid physical pen and minion physical pen, and that actually double dips because it is minion, so it gets it from my weapon, and then it's holding the weapon as well, so it also gets the 18% phys pen. So if you can get a decent weapon with maybe you can do it like crit, high physical damage, high flat, fast attack speed, and then some hybrid pen, that could be a pretty good way to scale the damage. All right, and then how else can we scale the damage? There's also this note here, Force of Impact. It says your Manifest Armor gains melee physical damage equal to a proportion of the armor on your body armor. So it gives you 1 per 10. So let's say for the sake of argument that you had Sentinel body armor with 700 on it. I think at level like 84 or 86, you get that as a base. And then maybe it has like another like 200 flat as an affix on there. You can get up around 900 to 1,000. That's 90 to 100 flat physical damage that you can get from Force of Impact as well. So that's another way that you could scale this. That's pretty insane. Now, right now, as I said before, I'm not actually using the Manifest Armor for the bulk of my damage. I'm using the Forged weapons, so I'm not scaling its damage that way very much. I'm just using a Titan Heart, so I'm not getting very much value out of that node, just like a little bit. But if I was scaling this, I would go all in on armor on my chest piece. And then what else is interesting here? We've also got this node here, thick padding, that grants manifest armor stun immunity. I didn't take it because I didn't really feel like it was that necessary because he's just basically a meat shield for me. But if I was doing damage with this thing, I would definitely take this. That's OP. Because imagine you've got this guy, he's doing his whirlwind strike, and he's just like sweeping through things, blowing things up, and he's just unstoppable as he's doing it. That would be pretty crazy. All right, so let me just hop over to some monsters here. You can kind of see how it works in battle. So just to explain this build a little bit, we're summoning the Forge weapons with Forge Strike. Our Manifest Armor is doing a little bit of damage, but mostly just there as a meat shield. Lunge is just to gap close, although this won't be as necessary once we get the dodge roll. And then we have Vengeance, which is casting Healing Hands, and Vengeance is also applying some debuffs on the enemy. So whenever you start getting low on mana, you just spam your Vengeance, and then you're able to fire out more of the Forge Strikes, so you can get more weapons on the go. This build ramps a little bit. It's a little bit slow off the start, and then once you get a bunch of weapons going, it starts to like really shred. Like, yeah, now I don't have to do too much because the weapons are doing most of the damage. Alright, so I'll just end it there. What do you think, guys? Is this going to be super OP? I think I'm going to start Forge Guard in the new cycle. Is this enough to make Forge Guard pretty OP, or is it still going to be bad and I'm just going to be in pain leveling my Sentinel? What do you think? Alright, well, that's it for the video today, guys. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.